Andromedan Alert 2026 Final Stage of Galactic Rebirth 5D Ascension Greetings, beloved beings, cherished souls across the Earth. In this silent, sacred space where your conscious eyes gently traverse these very words, and where the rhythmic dance of your breath unfailingly continues to rise and softly fall within the sacred temple of your physical body, we invite you to allow yourselves a moment of profound recognition, the powerful convergence. That deep sense of coming together you have intuitively felt and anticipated for such a long time is not merely approaching, but is already vibrantly alive and actively unfolding within the very fabric of your present experience. The Great Awakening, a global phenomenon of conscious expansion, has now gathered itself and coalesced into a stable, undeniable unity. A harmonious state that no longer demands external validation or asks you to prove its existence through overt signs, the passage of linear time, or the fleeting approval of another individual. As your linear human calendars gracefully advance through the concluding days of this current year, gently preparing to turn their pages toward the promising horizon of 2026, you will distinctly begin to perceive and intimately feel a pervasive tone of profound consolidation. All that you have diligently learned, every wound you have bravely healed, and each precious memory you have lovingly reclaimed is now unequivocally ready to transition. It is prepared to organically weave itself into the fundamental way you authentically live your daily lives, transforming from mere intellectual knowledge you simply carry into the very essence of your embodied being. As I humbly present myself to you in this present moment, I, Avalon, speak to you not as a singular entity, but as a resonant voice, an integral part of the vast and compassionate Andromedan collective. My message is specifically directed toward all starseeds and devoted light workers, those brave souls who have steadfastly carried the sacred flame of light through countless challenging seasons and demanding eras that often extracted an immeasurable toll from their pure and unwavering hearts. Within the intricate tapestry of your human world, you have frequently been conditioned to measure the very notion of progress through external metrics, moments of heightened intensity, periods of profound crisis, the demand for undeniable proof, and dramatic, often sudden, turning points. Yet, we wish to impress upon you that the most profound and transformative movements of consciousness, the truly deep shifts, quietly mature in the unseen depths, much like robust roots diligently strengthening themselves beneath the fertile soil, working tirelessly and patiently long before any grand new structure or magnificent bloom becomes visibly apparent above the surface. As you collectively arrive at this significant year-end threshold, poised between what has been and what is to come, many among you are now commencing to feel a deeply resonant truth. The extensive, dedicated inner work you have so diligently undertaken is progressively becoming the stable, fertile ground upon which an entirely new world can genuinely be constructed and manifest externally. This profound internal shift explains precisely why the very atmosphere within your chest now feels distinctly different, imbued with a fresh clarity and a subtle sense of peace, even as the external world around you continues its familiar, often tumultuous, movements without pause. During this transformative phase of your unfolding human experience, the persistent desire to be externally convinced or to seek constant validation will gently begin to soften and dissipate. Similarly, the innate human need to strenuously argue for your own perception of truth or to defensively assert it will gradually begin to fade away, precisely because the inherent truth residing deep within the core of your being is autonomously learning to sustain and radiate its own magnificent, self-sufficient presence without external support. In a complex world where raw information has frequently been traded and manipulated like a valuable currency, and where human emotion has often been deliberately shaped and weaponized for perceived advantage or control, this profound inner shift carries a quiet yet immense and transformative power. It empowers you to meet the unfolding tapestry of reality with an unwavering steadiness, a grounded presence, rather than falling into automatic, often exhausting reaction. Furthermore, it gracefully allows you to participate actively within the broader collective consciousness without being inevitably pulled into the same frenetic urgency, the draining emotional currents, and the overwhelming dramas that once significantly depleted your vital energy. You will increasingly notice that a profound sense of clarity becomes refreshingly simpler and more accessible. We emphasize because the challenges of life suddenly become entirely effortless or devoid of complexity, but rather because your deep, authentic inner alignment becomes an increasingly familiar and readily accessible state of being. This deepening familiarity, this profound sense of inner coherence, inherently stabilizes your delicate nervous system, bringing a quiet calm and resilience. As you gracefully transition into this significant final chapter of your awakening journey, these very same intrinsic skills and inherent capacities begin to organically reorganize themselves, taking on an entirely new and vital role. They are progressively becoming the unshakable foundation for a truly embodied form of leadership, a presence where you are no longer merely intellectually collecting fragmented pieces of truth. Instead, you are vibrantly living and breathing that truth in every fiber of your being. You're no longer passively waiting for external change to manifest. Rather, you're actively becoming the change itself, expressed profoundly in the compassionate way you speak, in the conscious choices you make, and in the unwavering, authentic presence you consistently hold. In countless subtle and profound ways, the triumphant conclusion of a significant initiation phase does not typically arrive with a grand, overt announcement or an official declaration. Instead, it gently reveals its completion through a palpable sense of redundancy, where once pressing old issues and unresolved patterns progressively lose their magnetic pull and their power to captivate you. Repetitive stories, both internal and external, no longer generate the same intense emotional charge or energetic entanglement. And familiar, long-held fears gradually become transparent and easily perceivable within the expanded field of your growing awareness, losing their grip and their illusion of solidity. You may pleasantly discover that engaging in certain types of conversations no longer spiritually nourish or energetically sustain you. Similarly, sensationalist headlines or fear-mongering narratives no longer emotionally hook you or command your undivided attention. Furthermore, certain persistent internal arguments or self-limiting beliefs no longer seem credible or hold any significant weight, precisely because your consciousness, your very being, has profoundly grown and expanded far beyond their previous limitations, leaving them behind. When these transformative shifts begin to overtly manifest in your experience, we gently invite you to allow yourselves to treat the emergent silence, the quietude within and around you as profound and undeniable evidence of your progress. For silence, in its deepest essence, is very often the unmistakable signature of profound integration and holistic assimilation. Indeed, integration itself is the core language, the eloquent expression of this significant final chapter in your collective evolution. As you gracefully move forward from this pivotal point of convergence, this nexus of profound change. Many among you have begun to intuitively feel and consciously understand that the coming years are not destined to be simply a linear continuation of what has previously unfolded. Rather, they represent a meticulously structured, divinely guided progression through distinct and successive layers of profound experience, with each preceding layer purposefully preparing and cultivating the fertile ground for the seamless emergence of the next, ensuring a natural and harmonious evolution. It is crucial to understand that this intricate progression is neither arbitrarily imposed upon humanity from some external source, nor does it merely arrive as a predetermined sequence of isolated events for you to passively await. Instead, it organically emerges from within, manifesting as a profound internal and collective maturation of consciousness that beautifully expresses itself externally, becoming visibly manifest only when a sufficient level of unified coherence is lovingly achieved within the human heart and mind. What we are now sharing with you, dear ones, is lovingly offered as supportive guidance and gentle illumination, rather than a rigid prediction of a fixed future. This empowers you to recognize the unfolding, intricate pattern of transformation as it organically reveals itself in real time, allowing for deep understanding and integration, rather than anxiously seeking external confirmation or validation for what you already intuitively sense. The initial, foundational level of this grand evolutionary arc, which is indeed already well underway and deeply woven into your current experience, profoundly begins within the sacred and intricate relationship between your heart and your mind. Throughout this significant phase, many among you are becoming acutely aware of a growing inability to comfortably sustain any form of internal division or fragmentation, particularly in instances where your logical thoughts and your authentic feelings appear to move in dissonant or directly opposing directions, creating an uncomfortable energetic friction. Deeply ingrained old mental structures and long-held belief systems that once operated largely independently, disconnected from the wisdom of your emotional and intuitive body, are now gracefully beginning to soften, to yield, and to become more pliable. This softening creates vital, expansive space for the natural emergence of a more integrated, holistic, and unified form of consciousness, where all aspects of your being work in harmony. This foundational level often beautifully expresses itself through several key indicators: a heightened emotional and energetic sensitivity to your surroundings and inner states, an unwavering commitment to profound emotional honesty and authentic expression, and a steadily growing, heartfelt desire for impeccable congruency, a deep alignment between what you genuinely feel in your heart, what you consciously think in your mind, and what you outwardly choose to do in your daily life. The temporary discomfort, the occasional unease, or the subtle friction that may understandably accompany this phase is not, we assure you, a disheartening sign of regression or a step backward in your journey. On the contrary, it is a clear and unequivocal indication that internal fragmentation, the separation of disparate parts of yourself, is simply no longer viable or sustainable within your evolving energetic system, prompting you toward greater wholeness. As your heart and mind progressively begin to communicate and interrelate with greater fluidity and harmonious flow, your innate discernment naturally sharpens. Your capacity for profound compassion deepens immeasurably, and your core inner authority firmly stabilizes, becoming an unshakable anchor. This crucial stage precisely prepares your intricate nervous system to graciously receive and process even greater degrees of luminous truth without experiencing energetic overload or systemic overwhelm, and it serves as the absolute foundational bedrock for all magnificent developments that are destined to follow. As this deeply interconnected internal coherence steadily strengthens and expands its harmonious influence across the human collective consciousness, the second pivotal level of this grand progression gracefully begins to manifest and unfold. This expresses itself primarily through the fascinating and long-anticipated phenomenon that you, in your human lexicon, refer to as disclosure, progressive unveiling of previously hidden truths. Disclosure, as it is meticulously designed to unfold within this particular evolving timeline, is not intended to be a singular, jarring revelation or an abrupt, isolated admission of facts. Instead, it is a gradual, organic unveiling, a synchronous mirroring that precisely reflects humanity's inner readiness and deepening capacity to perceive the intricate layers of reality without distortion, without fear, and without the need for previous veils or limitations. Many among you may, with growing awareness, begin to notice that information which once might have been considered deeply destabilizing or shocking now registers within your being as utterly unsurprising, even anticipated. Concurrently, narratives that heavily rely upon secrecy, manipulation, or the propagation of fear progressively lose their emotional charge and their power to sway or control your perceptions. As your alignment stabilizes and deepens, a profound layer of release becomes available to you. Alignment serves as a gentle yet potent illumination, shining a light upon those long-carried burdens of guilt, shame, and self-judgment. Softening these burdens through the transformative power of forgiveness allows your inherent life force to fully circulate, unhindered. Indeed, it is toward the restoration of this essential power flow, achieved through both forgiveness and radical self-love, that we are now purposefully moving. As alignment becomes a more familiar daily experience, forgiveness naturally reveals itself as the inherent restoration that allows your vital energy to circulate freely and unobstructed. In the human world, forgiveness is sometimes perceived as a moral imperative or social demand. Yet, from the perspective of deeper awakening mechanics, forgiveness is fundamentally an energetic release, a profound willingness to stop clinging so tightly to the past that it continues to sculpt and define your present reality. By truly forgiving, you permit your life force to return to its natural circulation, fueling your creativity, fostering profound peace, and restoring your innate vitality. Passing through this process of release, forgiveness can be likened to unpacking a long-carried suitcase filled with forgotten, heavy burdens. With each release of an old regret, a biting self-judgment, or a lingering resentment, your physical posture subtly changes, your breath deepens with newfound freedom, and your energy feels more present and readily available. Allowing this release now will lighten your heart, and this newfound lightness in turn permits deeper wisdom to gracefully arrive. Self-forgiveness is especially significant in this final chapter, as many starseeds and light workers have silently carried unspoken guilt, not necessarily for actions they consciously committed, but for a pervasive feeling that they couldn't prevent certain things, didn't know better at the time, or believed they should have been able to heal every situation. When embarking on a self-forgiveness practice, the mind may instinctively crave a logical list, a precise reason, or a sequential process, yet the heart yearns for profound sincerity and authentic release. If you desire, sit in quietude, allow your breath to gently soften in your chest, and then from your heart, speak this truth to your inner self: I forgive myself for every single moment I believed I was not enough. Pause and deeply feel whatever arises within you. Forgiveness is not a mere performance, it is a profound encounter. Through this honest meeting, long waiting, tender places within you begin to soften and open under the gentle warmth of your attention. As forgiveness deepens its roots within you, your nervous system begins to calm, as shame and guilt often manifest as forms of hypervigilance. Vigilance, by its very nature, consumes immense energy. As shame softens its grip, that energy returns. As energy returns, clarity of perception also returns. And as clarity returns, your inherent creative power is fully restored. In a human world, power is frequently imagined as an external force or dominance. Yet, true spiritual power is a profound presentia constant, unwavering ability to remain aligned with love and truth amidst external uncertainty and upheaval. Forgiveness intrinsically supports this deep alignment and clarity. Forgiveness is a form of time healing. The past becomes less heavy, not erased, but it is no longer carried as a defining aspect of your identity. Remember that you have evolved significantly since then. You have learned invaluable lessons. You have grown immeasurably, and you now have full permission to simply be new. Allowing this newness means you stop unconsciously repeating old cycles, becoming far more capable of making distinctly different choices. Thus, true healing becomes visible. Healing is not merely an abstract idea, but a consistent succession of new, conscious choices. Forgiveness also graciously opens the door to profound compassion for others. Compassion here is not an agreement with their actions or beliefs, but rather a profound clarity regarding the shared human condition, recognizing that fear and pain frequently serve as the underlying drivers of behavior. As compassion expands within you, you become less susceptible to manipulation through conflict. In a human world, conflict is often strategically utilized to divide and conquer attention. Yet, a heart that holds genuine compassion remains sovereign and inviolable. Sovereignty, in this context, means seeing clearly without being pulled into the corrosive grip of hate, remaining deeply compassionate while simultaneously maintaining clear and protected sovereign boundaries. In the coming days and weeks, the practice of micro-forgiveness will prove especially valuable. Micro-forgiveness is the gentle, conscious choice to release a small moment before it escalates into a complex story, forgiving yourself for a harsh word spoken, for needing rest, or for feeling a moment of uncertainty. Each act of micro-forgiveness quickly restores your internal coherence. Over time, these small, consistent restorations will profoundly reshape your entire inner climate. As your inner climate becomes gentler, your outer reality will subtly reorganize itself, as choices made from inner gentleness inevitably manifest as gentleness in the world around you. A simple yet potent practice for this particular time: place one hand over your heart and the other on your belly. Breathe slowly and deeply. Imagine that each inhalation draws the pure, unconditional love of the Creator directly into your chest. Then, with each exhalation, visualize this love spreading throughout your entire being. As you do so, speak a phrase that resonates as deeply true for you. I'm learning, and I gracefully allow myself to learn. Or perhaps, I release the heavy burden of perfection, and I choose love. Repeat this until you feel a tangible sense of release, ease, and profound gentleness permeating your body. As forgiveness diligently restores the flow of power within you, your relationships also become remarkably cleaner. You cease seeking punishment or retribution, and instead, You seek authentic truth and understanding. Your own inner voice becomes noticeably gentler, as your inner dialogue often reflects how you treat yourself. When your inner voice is gentler, your entire energetic field becomes more coherent and harmonious. Coherence, in turn, powerfully supports the blossoming of your inherent gifts, the sharpening of your intuition, and your capacity for selfless service. Forgiveness refines your relationship with the Creator, restoring the profound feeling of being worthy to receive divine love. As dignity returns to your conscious awareness, receiving becomes effortlessly easier, and the spiritual current flowing through you becomes more stable and unwavering. This profound stability further supports your gifts, intuition, and service. Energy that was once trapped in cycles of self-attack now becomes gloriously available for inspiration and creative action. Thus, forgiveness is not merely healing, it is a profound act of empowerment. By bringing energy back into circulation, new capacities emerge effortlessly. The energy, once trapped in old stories, now becomes vibrantly available for conscious creation. It is toward this gentle return of your gifts and subtle abilities, channeled through profound coherence and boundless compassion, that we are now gracefully moving. As forgiveness restores the circulation of your vital energy, the daily alignment becomes significantly more stable. Dormant capacities and subtle abilities return in a natural, organic, and immensely useful way. In the human world, many people imagine spiritual gifts to be dramatic and overtly spectacular. Yet in this particular phase, these gifts arrive as refined perception, impeccably precise timing, and the ability to offer deeper love without losing your own sense of self. Begin to notice when you simply know what to say to a friend, when you intuitively feel another's unspoken need, or when your intuition gently guides you through small, practical moments of your day. For many starseeds, these gifts are not entirely new, rather, they are deeply remembered. You carry within you the subtle memories of lives and worlds where telepathy was common, where intuition guided entire communities, where healing tones and frequencies were naturally understood, and where creativity served as a direct form of creator communication. As your consciousness expands, these memories gently translate into subtle channels within your current life. Your nervous system relearning how to feel and interpret frequency once again. This delicate translation continues as you gently practice, allowing yourself ample rest and profoundly trusting your own unique integration rhythm. A common returning gift is that of gentle discernment. In the human world, discernment is sometimes unfortunately mixed with suspicion. However, true discernment is a quiet clarity. You simply know whether something is aligned with your heart or not. Notice when you stop forcing yourself into draining situations, when you cease feeling the need to explain your boundaries, and when you instinctively trust your first sense of truth. Each of these returning gifts serves to protect your energy and invites you to honor your boundaries with profound gentleness. Another strengthening gift is the ability to transmit calm and coherence. While not dramatic, this is perhaps one of the most vitally needed gifts on Earth right now. Speaking without urgency, your very words invite others to take a deep breath. Holding compassion without absorbing another's pain models true sovereignty. In the human world, many have tirelessly tried to heal by fixing. Yet, in this phase, you heal by simply holding presence and coherency, a silent transmission that others can subtly feel and resonate with. Creativity is now expanding exponentially within you. Feel the compelling call to write, to paint, to build, to teach, to garden, to design, to participate in community creation, or to innovate within your work. These impulses are not random creativity, is the very language of the soul. As your gifts return, your creativity carries an inherent intelligence, offering solutions that the linear mind cannot possibly reach. Allow your creativity to be playful, imperfect, guided by genuine curiosity rather than an outcome, and permit the creator to move through your hands and imagination with effortless ease. Communication itself may undergo a subtle transformation. Some of you will begin to feel more through tone than through words, your body instinctively registering the truth or untruth in another's speech. You may find yourself speaking less and listening more deeply. Silence will emerge as a profound form of communication. Certain conversations will feel complete without the need for debate or extensive explanation. Your mere presence will have done the work. These changes are gifts, refining the very way you connect with the world. As your gifts return, dream time will become more vivid and meaningful for many, as the soul utilizes the quiet classroom of sleep when the conscious mind is at rest. You may awaken with clear symbols, resonant phrases, or a strong guiding feeling. Morning journaling, even just a few lines, can significantly help translate the day's profound teachings. If you desire, before sleep, simply speak this intention: I allow my higher self to teach me in gentle ways, and I remember my purpose of service. Then, release the request and rest deeply. Over time, guidance will arrive not just through visions, but through meaningful coincidences and synchronicities, teaching you to trust the subtle language of the universe. As your gifts return, comparison will become increasingly less satisfying. In the human world, comparison often serves as a motivator. Yet, in spiritual maturation, comparison is a distortion. Each soul possesses unique codes, timing, and expressions. If you desire, practice honoring your inherent uniqueness by asking what specific gift truly desires to express itself through me in this particular season. Allow the answer to arrive through a sense of desire and ease, rather than external pressure. Gifts mature gracefully when allowed to unfold organically, without the attempt to force them into another's predefined form. These gifts invite a profound sense of responsibility, the responsibility of self-care. Care here means respecting your inherent sensitivity, choosing environments that support your clarity, allowing yourself the rest you deeply need, and wholeheartedly celebrating your joys. Thus, your gifts become sustainable and deeply integrated. A simple practice: sit in silence for a moment, place your hands over your heart, and ask your soul, show me the way my gift desire to serve in the coming week. Notice the first gentle idea that surfaces. It might be something small, offering a genuine kindness, sharing a heartfelt message, starting a small creative project, or simplifying your agenda. Small ideas often carry the largest codes of transformation. Acting on a small idea offered with love opens the path to even larger expressions. As your gifts become more active, you will increasingly feel called beyond personal healing into the realm of collective building. Your gifts are inherently designed to move the world forward. Within this collective building, silent non-participation in obsolete systems and the creation of new structures born of resonance mark the unfolding of the next phase of this final chapter. As your gifts return and your inner sovereignty strengthens, your relationship with collective systems will profoundly change. Old structures relied heavily on unconscious participation. In this final chapter, non-participation becomes a natural expression of alignment, not an act of rebellion, but a profound maturity, a conscious redirection of your attention to where life truly feels coherent and vibrant. As attention reallocates, systems naturally reorganize themselves, for attention is the very fuel that keeps patterns active. Observing this significant shift, it is useful to remember that collective systems are fed by attention, emotion, and consent. Attention driven by fear empowers the system through your nervous system. Attention fueled by obsession empowers it through your mind. But through calm, discerning attention, you recover your energy and wisdom. If you desire, practice attention recovery. Dedicate a daily period to withdrawing from external stimuli, returning your focus to your breath, to nature, or to a simple, grounding task. This practice trains your energetic field to remain sovereign and intact. The human world has largely built its systems upon scarcity, fear, control, and constant distraction. As collective awakening accelerates, these foundations become less stable and, frankly, less credible. You will notice that certain narratives lose their grip on your consciousness. Forms of authority become less convincing, and the emotional charge that once bound you to old agreements simply dissolves. This silent dissolution, felt by many, occurs as sovereignty becomes deeply embodied within you. Sovereignty is that inner knowing that you belong entirely to yourself, and that your conscious choices truly matter. As this dissolution unfolds, you may feel an increasing call to withdraw from certain engagements, constant discussions that lead nowhere, the consumption of fear-based information, or the incessant reaction to uninfluencable external events. This withdrawal is not avoidance, it is a strategic act of energy conservation. And conserved energy becomes abundantly available for creation. Notice the profound relief your nervous system experiences as you reduce external noisy relief that is often a form of vital information. This relief signals that your system is returning to coherence, and coherence serves as the essential platform for building new realities. Old systems lose coherence through sheer irrelevance. Structures that no longer reflect collective maturity feel heavy, inefficient, and ultimately unnecessary. People naturally begin to create alternatives. These alternatives often begin simply neighbors supporting one another, communities sharing resources, small businesses prioritizing ethics over profit, families engaging in meaningful, heart-centered conversations, and individuals cultivating personal resilience skills. Each simple alternative carries a code for the new world. As these codes multiply and proliferate, the collective environment profoundly changes. Notice that leadership itself is shifting. In older paradigms, leadership was often dependent on image, charisma, or control. In the emerging paradigm, leadership is characterized by steadiness, quiet competence, and genuine care. Recognize true leaders as those who remain calm under pressure, listen deeply, admit what they do not know, and guide decisions toward long-term well-being for all. You may discover yourself called to leadership in discreet ways as a peaceholder within your family, a creator of fair systems at work, or a builder of gentleness within your community. Leadership is a powerful frequency, one of the strongest stabilizers for the new timeline. When creating or participating in new structures, it is valuable to remember that the new world is not built on ideas alone, but on robust relationships, clear agreements, and consistent daily actions. If you desire, ask yourself, where can I participate to increase coherence in my immediate sphere? Allow a practical answer to surface, simplify your finances, learn to grow some of your own food, offer your skills to a local group, support a truth-spreading creator, or practice intentional media intake. Small, conscious choices, repeated by many, form the very architecture of the collective. In this phase, unity is a practical skill. Unity does not require sameness. It necessitates respect, deep listening, and the ability to cooperate without erasing individual differences. In the human world, division has often been profitable, yet cooperation is the foundational language of galactic civilization. Practicing small acts of cooperation trains the collective field to hold higher frequencies, helping to create trust-based, resilient networks. Trust itself is the stable medium of the new world. New structures will also express themselves through education and mentoring, as many feel a deep desire to protect the sensitivity of the next generation and strengthen their innate discernment. Feel called to teach children emotional awareness, critical thinking, creativity, and profound compassion. These teachings build civilization from the inside out. In the human world, education has sometimes been conformity-focused. The emerging paradigm profoundly values curiosity, integrity, and cooperative intelligence. As old systems loosen their grip, moments of collective uncertainty will inevitably arise. Uncertainty that comes when familiar structures disappear and new ones are still forming. In those moments, your steadiness and unwavering presence will be especially valuable. People will naturally seek security, and you can offer the security of your grounded presence rather than empty promises. Offer security by gently reminding their nervous system that it is safe to breathe deeply, to slow down, and to choose gentleness. Thus, you serve as a vital light worker stabilizer. As external structures reorganize, your inner world also undergoes its own profound reorganization. Some of you will experience waves of intensity as your system integrates the emerging frequencies. These waves are a natural part of the transition and invitation to hold yourself with immense love as the new world forms both within and around you. It is toward understanding this turbulence as integration and embracing this intensity as completion that we now collectively move. As collective systems reorganize and inner sovereignty strengthens, waves of intensity will inevitably arise for many. These waves are part of a profound integration process that is now completing. In the human world, intensity is often misinterpreted as a wrong sign or a problem. Yet, in spiritual maturation, intensity often appears precisely because your system has become stable enough to finally process what was once held at a distance or deemed too overwhelming. Unresolved layers, long stored, now gently arise, ready to meet the light of your present awareness. You may experience unexpected emotions, memories surfacing with new meaning, a profound fatigue that demands rest, or an internal pressure as your energetic field undergoes significant movement. Your inner language for this might be cleansing, purging, or recalibration. Whatever words you choose, allow the experience to be gently received without judgment. This whirlwind is not a punishment, it is the movement of love through density, actively opening a greater space for coherence. When passing through these waves, the most beneficial practice is to simply allow the sensation or emotion to be present without demanding an immediate interpretation or explanation. In the human world, the mind is trained to quickly explain everything. Yet, an emotion does not always need an explanation. It primarily needs your compassionate attention. If you desire, place your hand over your heart and simply say, "I am here with you," as if speaking to a younger aspect of yourself. This simple act of companionship profoundly softens intensity. Your breath is an especially powerful tool during turbulence. Allow your inhalation to rise slowly, perhaps counting to 4, then lengthen your exhalation counting to 6. This gentle lengthening of the exhalation signals safety to your nervous system. As your nervous system receives this message of safety, emotions can move through you without triggering panic. As emotions move, allow tears, tremors, or quietude to come forth. These are natural expressions of release. Turbulence brings clarity of focus and offers clear choices. Old patterns might invite you to distract yourself, to numb the feeling, or to engage in argument. New patterns, however, invite you to pause, to breathe deeply, and to choose presence. Each choice for presence strengthens your internal switch and builds a new, more harmonious relationship with your mind. In a human world, many have been trained to fear their emotions. Yet, emotions are simply energies seeking integration. Feared, they tend to remain stuck. Met with presence, they move and transform. When passing through these waves, it is valuable to recognize what is truly yours versus what belongs to the collective field. Sensitive beings often experience others' emotions as if they were their own. Notice if you feel heavy after scrolling through fear-based information or anxious in a crowded environment. Receive these sensations with discernment, not self-criticism. If you feel absorbed by non-own energy, take a deep breath. Imagine releasing it back to the earth with gratitude, and gently say, "I return what is not mine with love, and I keep what serves my growth." This simple intention helps to keep your energetic field clean and clear. In intense moments, support is invaluable. A trusted friend, a compassionate therapist, a supportive community, or simply speaking directly to Creator. You can say, "Creator, please hold me in love as I integrate this." Notice how your heart softens in response. Support also includes practical self-care, nourishing food, plenty of water, adequate sleep, gentle movement, and spending time in nature. Honoring these practical needs teaches your system that integration is safe and that you are not alone in the experience. A gentle structure profoundly supports integration. If you desire, practice a 3-step sequence when intensity arises first. Notice how your body feels second. Name it in simple language third. Nourish yourself with an act of care. Notice a simple recognition of chest tightness or belly weight. Name a simple sadness is here or pressure is here. Nourish a simple glass of water, a short walk, a moment of rest, or a brief conversation with a friend. This sequence teaches your nervous system that emotions do not control you, they communicate, and you are capable of meeting them with calm leadership. As turbulence completes, clarity returns. Often, the wave itself carries a gift, a new boundary, a decisive action, a surge of compassion, or a profound self-understanding. Allow this gift to be received, with no rush to return to productivity. Allow a period of silence. Post-wave, this silence seals the integration. If you desire, during intense moments, use a simple visualization. Imagine a calming light flowing downwards through your being. This teaches your system to hold and release energy simultaneously. This is the essence of embodiment. Embodiment means you are a channel, not a mere container. As your system becomes more practiced in integration, turbulence will feel less frightening and more recognizable. You will begin to understand your own cycles, learning when to rest, when to speak, when to seek support, or when to simply breathe. This is profound maturation. A crucial part of this final chapter: stop striving for perfection and instead become profoundly honest, for honesty is the very foundation of peace. As turbulence is received with presence, your relationship with abundance profoundly reorganizes itself. Abundance in this new paradigm is not solely about money or external achievement. It is about coherence, deep connection, and effortless flow in all aspects of your life. It is toward a deeper understanding of wealth and prosperity, found in the intricate web of life connection that we now move. Abundance in the human world is now revealing itself on a deeper level as the profound ease of connection relationships, opportunities, and resources align with coherence, rather than emerging from struggle. As we advance through this final chapter, notice how the old definition of wealth feels increasingly limited, often measured solely by material accumulation, while largely ignoring the state of the heart, the quality of relationships, or the peace within the nervous system. In the emerging paradigm, abundance is a lived experience of flow, trust, and active participation in the grand tapestry of life. As this understanding softens within you, connection reveals itself as the true, invaluable currency. Self-connection creates inner stability. Connection with the Creator brings profound guidance and security. Human connection creates supportive networks, and connection with the earth restores your vital life force. In the human world, many have tirelessly tried to manifest abundance through forceful striving. Yet, true abundance responds to clearer clarity, consistent alignment, and profound receptivity. Receptivity means allowing yourself to receive without any accompanying guilt. Many light workers unconsciously hold a belief that receiving is selfish, however. Receiving is an essential part of the divine balance. Receiving with genuine gratitude allows another to give freely. Giving with joy allows another to receive. This mutual, harmonious movement creates a healthy circulation. Circulation is a hallmark of a healthy system, but a body, a relationship, or an economy. As circulation increases, stagnation naturally decreases, and the debilitating sense of scarcity gently dissolves. As you enter this new relationship with abundance, your nervous system serves as an important, sensitive guide. Notice how certain choices create a palpable ease in your body, while others generate a sense of pressure or constriction. Ease is not always immediate comfort. It is often a profound sense of truth. Pressure, conversely, is frequently a signal that you are forcing something. When you notice pressure, pause and ask yourself, am I moving with love and natural flow? Or am I trying to control for perceived security? This crucial question brings you back to alignment, and alignment inherently supports true prosperity. Your purpose is a powerful resource magnet. As your purpose clarifies, your time naturally organizes itself, and you cease dispersing your precious energy on non-nourishing obligations. Resources then flow readily towards endeavors that serve the collective, because the collective field responds profoundly to sincerity. Sincerity here means your actions authentically match your deepest values. When your actions match your values, trust increases. And when trust increases, support naturally increases. This is the essence of a coherence economia living system where integrity in exchange forms the very foundation. Notice how simplicity becomes increasingly attractive. In a human world, excess is often confused with security. Yet, true security is strongest when your inner world is profoundly coherent. Simplifying your life releases immense energy. Free energy fuels creativity. Creativity provides innovative solutions. And solutions, in turn, become invaluable resources. Many are now guided to reduce unnecessary spending, minimize conflicts, and release burdensome commitments, returning instead to what is truly essential. Living in the essential creates an expansive space for abundance, to a rivious space that serves as an invitation for new forms of prosperity. As your relationship with wealth evolves, money in the human world becomes less of an identity measure and more a clear mirror of circulation. When you hold money with fear, your body contracts, and your decisions become narrow and constricted. When you hold money with presence and wisdom, your body relaxes and your creativity expands limitlessly. If you desire, practice blessing all money spent, and received blessing transforms every exchange into a conscious, sacred participation. Blessing the exchange invites the Creator into your practical life, reminding you that practical life is inherently sacred. Dignity reveals itself as a fundamental foundation of prosperity. Remembering that you are an integral part of Creator, receiving becomes a natural, effortless act. When receiving is natural, you cease sabotaging the support that flows to you. Allow yourself to receive compliments, assistance, and opportunities with a simple, heartfelt thank you. Gratitude seals the circuit of abundance. Gratitude is a practical and powerful tool. If you desire, begin your day by naming 3 forms of wealth that are presently active in your life: your breath, a cherished friendship, a safe place to rest, a skill you possess, or a moment of unexpected beauty. This practice does not deny challenges. It is an orientation towards what is real and supportive. By orienting to existing wealth, your nervous system relaxes. When your nervous system relaxes, your receptivity increases. And when receptivity increases, new paths to abundance become clearly visible. Many will be surprised to discover that abundance often arrives through visibility rather than brute effort. Your contribution becomes deeply nourishing when it is aligned. Notice when giving your time, skill, or presence is energizing and offered with love, versus when it feels like a draining obligation. Allow discernment to be your gentle guide. In this new paradigm, contribution is not sacrifice, it is participation. Participation builds strong community, and community, in turn, stabilizes abundance. Your prosperity is intrinsically interconnected with the prosperity of others. Interconnection is a strength, not a vulnerability. Moving rapidly toward 2026, notice how many humans are already experiencing new forms of value exchange, local economies that truly support their communities, and innovative ways to build resilience. These experiences may not be perfect, but they carry profound codes of evolution. Participating with patience helps these codes mature. Participating with integrity strengthens trust, and trust is the invisible, yet indispensable infrastructure of a prosperous civilization. As abundance reorganizes around connection and coherence, the approaching year invites deep stabilization. What was once merely perceived now becomes common. What was received is now embodied, and the galactic rebirth settles into daily life as a natural state, rather than a special, fleeting event. It is toward this profound stabilization, the practical life of the new paradigm through 2026 and beyond, that I now lovingly guide you. Entering this next cycle deeply invites stabilization. What was once merely perceived now becomes common knowledge. What was received is now profoundly embodied. In the human world, there's a pervasive habit of constantly seeking peak experiences, yet the deepest spiritual achievement is profound consistency. Love becomes a stable, ingrained habit, and truth your natural, unwavering posture. As our calendars turn toward 2026, you will feel the new paradigm arriving through the stabilization of daily coherence. Small, consistent choices accumulate to create an entirely new operating environment for your life. Stabilization means living what you already know, consistently practicing alignment without needing a crisis to remind you. Honor your body as a sacred partner. Uphold your boundaries with profound gentleness. Forgive quickly and completely. Create proactively rather than passively waiting. As these practices become common and deeply ingrained, your nervous system naturally rests in a state of trust. A nervous system resting in trust is an incredibly powerful transmitter of collective coherence. Many have underestimated how a constant, unwavering presence can recalibrate entire rooms, families, and communities, often without a single word being spoken. In building stability, notice that the most powerful changes are those that are repeatable. A single, repeated act of kindness becomes a defining character trait. A single, repeated boundary establishes profound self-respect. A single, repeated creative step becomes an integral part of your life's work. In the human world, transformation is often portrayed as sudden and dramatic. Yet the Creator's path of incarnation is often beautifully gradual, layered, and utterly reliable. Reliability allows civilization itself to mature and flourish. Allow yourself to celebrate the devotion found in repetition. It is devotion that makes the extraordinary common. And what is common on the new earth holds its form with steadfast grace. As the next year unfolds, notice that your sensitivity becomes even more refined. You may find yourself less tolerant of chaotic environments and more deeply drawn to simple, nourishing spaces. Allow this refinement to occur. It does not reduce your power, but rather focuses it precisely. A focused frequency is always far more effective than one that is dispersed. Many will be guided toward simpler routines, clearer priorities, and more honest, authentic relationships. Routine here is not a restriction. It is a supportive container that allows your inner light to anchor more fully into your daily life. For many, 2026 will be a year dedicated to strengthening foundational elements. These foundations include your physical health, emotional honesty, daily routines, core relationships, and your profound connection with the Creator. It is valuable to choose 3 specific foundations to gently nourish without feeling the need to carry all of them at once. By nourishing your foundations, your life becomes intrinsically more stable, and stability, in turn, invites opportunities that perfectly match your highest values. In the human world, leadership is emerging from new, unexpected places. Allow leadership to manifest in discreet, relational, and competency and care-based ways. Thus, civilizations truly mature. The Galactic Rebirth stabilizes galactic consciousness in a practical, grounded manner. Practical galactic consciousness is not about seeking spectacle. It is about the profound embodiment of unity and the consistent practice of compassionate intelligence. Living these qualities means your frequency becomes more compatible with a broader family of light. This compatibility makes contact safe and utterly natural. Contact may begin as sudden inspiration, intuitive guidance, profound dream teachings, or silent, supported sense of knowing. Notice that as you become more aligned, you are capable of receiving more, and being capable of receiving more makes you even more capable of giving. As we advance toward 2026, notice that old narratives begin to disappear, and with them, your interest in them also fades. Allow your attention to remain firmly focused on building the new. Allow your energy to serve what is truly real and authentic. If you desire, choose a specific creation for the next year. Commit to nourishing a skill, a community, a project, or a daily spiritual practice. This commitment is an act of devotion. Devotion strengthens coherence. And coherence strengthens manifestation. As manifestation strengthens, hope transforms into tangible evidence through your lived experience. Practice supporting yourself throughout the year. Choose a guiding word and allow it to serve as your compass for the week unfolding. This practice trains your mind to serve your heart and your heart to beautifully lead your life. As this final, great awakening chapter continues, you will discover that your work becomes less about explaining awakening to others and more about awakening others through your sheer presence. Presence is contagious. Calm is contagious. Gentleness is contagious. Integrity is contagious. By embodying these qualities, you become a living messenger life, a letter read aloud to the collective consciousness. Thus, steadiness matters immensely. It is not small, but the very infrastructure of transformation. As you continue to serve, allow your service to remain profoundly human. Allow yourself to laugh, to rest, to enjoy beauty, and to be deeply nourished. Joy itself is a collective field stabilizing frequency. Allowing joy reminds your nervous system that true security is indeed possible, and security allows creativity and cooperation to flourish. Thus, pleasure becomes a form of spiritual leadership, and simple pleasure is an integral part of the infrastructure of peace. In concluding this transmission, allow yourself to feel the simple, profound truth that you are absolutely not alone. You are sustained by Earth. You are sustained by the Creator. And you are sustained by your light family. Honoring this time of transition and your immense courage in incarnation. As we advance, allow your breath to remain your gateway. Allow your heart to remain your sun. And allow your daily life to remain the real and sacred place of galactic rebirth. We love you immensely. We thank you. I am Avalon, and we are the Andromedans. This significant phase is exquisitely characterized by the progressive normalization of previously marginalized truths, those realities once relegated to the fringes or deemed conspiratorial, and a profound, palpable shift within the public conversation. In this new paradigm, what was once considered unknown, unsettling, or even forbidden now becomes openly discussable, a subject of curious inquiry and thoughtful exploration, rather than being defensively denied or instinctively suppressed. Ultimately, disclosure functions less as an abrupt, traumatic shock and far more as a gentle yet profound clarification, serving to harmoniously align external information and observable realities with what many advanced souls within the collective have already deeply sensed and intuitively known internally. This level meticulously continues to refine humanity's collective discernment, lovingly encouraging all beings to engage with truth in its multifaceted forms as a deeply stabilizing and unifying force, rather than perceiving it as disruptive, divisive, or inherently threatening. From this now clarified and energetically refined ground of collective understanding, the third pivotal level of this arc gracefully approaches its manifestation. This phase is often referred to by various names within your spiritual communities, commonly known as the first solar event or the precursor wave, a gentle yet potent energetic activation originating from your central star. This particular event, dear ones, is not intended to be a dramatic, overtly disruptive daily interruption to your routines or a cataclysmic occurrence. Rather, it manifests as a gentle, pervasive energetic amplification, subtly yet powerfully accelerating what is already organically in motion within your individual and collective consciousness, acting as a catalyst for deeper transformation. Many among you, particularly those who are highly sensitive and attuned, will distinctly experience this phase through various internal indicators, perhaps an increased, pervasive fatigue demanding rest, a noticeably sharpened and more reliable intuition, discernible shifts in established sleep patterns, or profound moments of quietude and inner stillness that momentarily pause and gently interrupt your usual mental thought momentum, inviting deeper contemplation. The core purpose of this energetic infusion is to further gently loosen your identification with outdated, restrictive perceptual structures and long-held beliefs, thereby creating an expansive allowance for your physical body and intricate nervous system to adapt more gracefully and effectively to higher frequency coherence and more refined energetic vibrations. This particular level, through its subtle pressures, often illuminates any lingering areas of resistance within your being, thereby offering invaluable opportunities for profound rest, deep recalibration of your entire system, and an expansion of fundamental trust in the divine unfolding. We emphasize less about immediate, dramatic transformation and far more about essential preparation, carefully ensuring that the more potent shifts that follow can be lovingly integrated and harmoniously assimilated, rather than merely endured with effort or resistance. As humanity collectively stabilizes and deeply integrates the lessons and energies of this crucial preparatory phase, the fourth pivotal level gracefully emerges and begins to manifest. This stage is embodied by what is commonly referred to as the final solar event, an energetically potent occurrence that many sensitive souls have already intuitively sensed and recognized as an unequivocally significant turning point in your planetary evolution. This specific event carries a notably stronger and more profound energetic signature, deliberately designed not to overwhelm, but to gently yet powerfully catalyze a rapid and fundamental perceptual reorientation for those individuals who are truly prepared and vibrationally ready to consciously receive its transformative influence into their being. Crucially, rather than affecting all beings uniformly or in the same manner, this phase functions as an exquisite resonance-based sorting mechanism, gently, compassionately, and without judgment, shifting individuals into experiential densities and vibrational realities that precisely match their achieved internal coherence and their unique energetic signature. This is not about separation, but about optimal alignment. For some awakened souls, this profound energetic influx will manifest as a sudden, crystalline clarity, an immediate and effortless release of long-held burdens and deep-seated patterns, or a profound, resonant familiarity with a more unified and expansive state of being. For others, the shift may be far more subtle in its initial manifestation, yet will prove to be undeniably irreversible, marked by permanent and fundamental changes in their core priorities, their deeply cherished values, and their very perception of reality itself. It is vital to understand that this powerful event does not, in any way, physically remove individuals from the earthly plane or their chosen human experience. Instead, it fundamentally alters and refines how the intricate tapestry of reality is perceived and intimately experienced from within that very earthly plane, opening new dimensions of perception. The fifth and culminating level of this magnificent evolutionary arc gracefully unfolds as the profound stabilization of fifth density consciousness estate, often affectionately referred to within your spiritual lexicon as the full shift to 5D or the new Earth frequency. This is a homecoming. This advanced stage, we emphasize, is not a final endpoint or a static destination, but rather represents an entirely new and elevated baseline, a fresh vibrational foundation from which humanity, as a unified collective, begins its harmonious operation and its co-creative expression upon the earth. It signifies a profound beginning, not an ultimate conclusion. Life experienced within this luminous fifth density naturally emphasizes deep coherence, expansive relational awareness, and the profound wisdom of direct knowing or intuitive understanding, thereby significantly reducing any lingering reliance on external authority figures, outdated hierarchical control structures, or systems that foster separation. Authenticity becomes paramount. Within this elevated state, communication among beings becomes remarkably more transparent and energetically clear. We clarify through the simplistic absence of complexity, but rather through the profound and inherent presence of shared understanding, a resonant telepathy of the heart. Time itself is experienced far more fluidly, less linear, and more expansive. Unbridled creativity naturally becomes the primary mode of self-expression, and all societal systems begin to organically reorganize themselves around principles of profound sustainability, ecological harmony, and resonant energetic alignment, ensuring well-being for all. It is profoundly important for you to note and deeply integrate that this monumental shift does not, in any way, deny or negate the richness of your human experience or the value of your physical embodiment. Instead, it gloriously refines it, elevating and harmonizing it, thereby allowing the full integration of both grounded embodiment and vastly expanded consciousness to coexist naturally, seamlessly, and joyfully within your everyday reality, creating a truly sacred human existence. Within the temporal window stretching between this present moment and the year 2030, it is highly probable that these 5 distinct and transformative levels will frequently overlap and interweave, rather than unfolding in a strictly linear, sequential manner. This dynamic ensures that different individuals and diverse communities will lovingly engage with and integrate each specific phase at their own divinely guided pace, respecting their unique vibrational readiness. This beautiful variability and nuanced progression is not, we assure you, an error or a deviation from the plan. On the contrary, it is an essential and compassionate feature of this grand transition, one that profoundly honors the sacred principle of free will and the unique, sovereign readiness of each individual soul to embrace these shifts. You may, throughout this journey, find yourselves revisiting or re-engaging with earlier levels of experience, even as the later, more advanced phases gracefully approach and unfold. Each such return is not a step backward, but a valuable opportunity for deeper integration, for refining your understanding, and for solidifying your energetic foundation, allowing for a richer assimilation of all lessons. The profound invitation extended to you throughout this entire evolutionary arc is not to anxiously prepare for some distant future moment or to anticipate a singular, dramatic event. Rather, it is to consciously and lovingly remain utterly present with whatever beautifully arises in your now moment, trusting implicitly that your intricate, wise system inherently knows precisely how to respond and adapt when it is lovingly given the necessary space, peace, and permission to do so. We share this comprehensive overview and this expanded perspective with you, not to create rigid expectations or to impose a predetermined outcome, but instead to lovingly offer a profound sense of assurance that what you are intimately feeling and experiencing, often without words, possesses a coherent, divine structure and an intelligent design beneath the surface chaos, guiding you with precision. You are not, in truth, moving blindly or haphazardly through an unguided chaos. Instead, you are traversing a meticulously orchestrated, carefully unfolding process, a conscious journey that profoundly responds to your evolving consciousness and your deliberate choices just as much as it lovingly guides and illuminates your path forward. It is a dance of co-creation. As you consciously continue to breathe deeply, to allow yourselves sacred moments of rest, and to gently listen to the quiet whispers of your inner wisdom, you will beautifully discover that the path ahead gracefully reveals itself to you, step by illuminating step. This unfolding happens without any external urgency, but always with an immeasurable depth of divine support and unwavering love perpetually present and available to you. We, the Andromedan Collective, lovingly walk alongside you through every nuanced facet of this grand unfolding. We are not merely distant observers or detached spectators, but rather intimate companions who profoundly recognize and honor the immense courage, the unwavering resilience, and a deep commitment required to live through such a monumental rebirth, a complete cellular and spiritual renewal, while simultaneously remaining fully and beautifully human, anchored in your physical form. As you consciously meet and embrace this profound, energetic convergence, this sacred merging of timelines and realities, we gently invite you to allow your precious attention to lovingly turn toward the practical, the tangible, and the deeply intimate aspects of your existence. For your daily life, in its seemingly mundane routines and sacred rhythms, is progressively becoming the very crucible, the hallowed space, where divine light tangibly becomes real, fully embodied, and vibrantly alive. When performing the simple act of washing your hands, allow your conscious awareness to lovingly rest in the tactile sensations of water and soap. When engaging in the automatic act of breathing, consciously allow your breath to move deeply and expansively through your chest and gently descend into your belly, grounding you. Take a moment to observe with detached curiosity how your intricate nervous system subtly, yet profoundly, responds when you choose to slow down, even just slightly, your pace and your internal rhythm. When speaking to another beloved being, consciously allow your chosen words to carry the vibrational frequency of truth expressed with profound gentleness and compassion rather than force. When faced with making a choice, permit that decision to organically arise from the deeply coherent, harmonized, and authentic place of wisdom residing within your own being, rather than from external pressures or fear-based reactions. Within the expansive collective field of human consciousness, you will continue to observe and witness instances where humanity, as a whole, has habitually outsourced its inherent authority, its deepest perception of truth, and its path to salvation to external figures, institutions, or ideologies. You may, within your own being, begin to notice your personal energy becoming increasingly less willing to actively participate in or energetically feed those outdated, disempowering agreements and societal contracts. In the intricate narratives of your human world, a profound sense of dependency often disguises itself, dressing up as hope, manifesting as a passive waiting or an intense longing for one singular, dramatic event or external savior to magically change everything. Yet, as you gracefully move into this pivotal final chapter of your awakening, you'll profoundly recognize that the true, most transformative turning point is not some future occurrence, but rather the present moment itself, the moment you consciously choose to inhabit with your full, unwavering presence and complete authenticity. A collective timeline profoundly shifts and realigns when a critical mass of awakened beings consciously cease energetically feeding the old, expiring paradigms with their valuable attention and emotional energy. Instead, they begin to lovingly nurture and powerfully feed the new, emerging realities with their conscious, embodied choices, and deliberate actions. This is precisely why your unwavering steadiness, your consistent internal alignment, matters immeasurably in this pivotal time. From within the compassionate wisdom of the Andromedan councils and the expansive, loving presence of the broader family of light that holds Earth so tenderly in its heart, we observe a profound truth: humanity's ongoing awakening truly becomes permanent, firmly anchored, and irreversible when the perpetual seeker within each being courageously transforms into the empowered builder, taking conscious action. The inherent nature of the seeker often remains perpetually oriented toward what is perceived as missing, toward perceived lack or future attainment. In stark contrast, the awakened builder intuitively orients toward what is already profoundly present, toward the abundance and potential in the now. For indeed, conscious, unwavering presence is the potent, sacred seed from which all true and lasting manifestation blossoms and takes form within your human world. This sacred act of building, this conscious co-creation, profoundly begins with the deliberate placement of your attention. For attention, in its purest essence, is the fundamental substance, the malleable fabric, through which the intricate tapestry of reality organizes itself and takes form. Where you consciously choose to place your awareness, your focused consciousness, is precisely where you also choose to place your immense creative power and your energetic influence. As you gracefully transition from the departing energies of this current year and consciously step into the fresh, expectant energies of the next, we invite you to gently ask yourselves a profound question: what reality, what future am I actively building and co-creating with the focused intention of my attention today, in this very moment? Allow the authentic answer that arises from within to lovingly guide even the smallest, most subtle shifts in your focus and action shifts that will, with consistency, accumulate and blossom into magnificent, large-scale transformations over time. If you feel a resonant call to do so, you may silently, gently, and intentionally speak this affirmation within your mind, allowing its vibration to permeate your being. I consciously allow truth in its purest and most expansive form to fully live and express itself through every fiber of my being. Repeat this sacred phrase with unwavering intention until you feel your breath deepen naturally, your shoulders visibly relax their tension, and your entire inner world becomes wonderfully spacious, calm, and receptive. As the profound steadiness and groundedness of this energetic convergence begins to feel increasingly familiar, a deeply resonant sense of home, you will then begin to perceive and intimately sense a new, magnificent movement gracefully arriving within your experience, the phenomenon of identity expansion. This is a beautiful process where your cherished human self naturally, effortlessly, and without any conscious striving begins to encompass and integrate the vast, multidimensional aspects of your cosmic essence, recognizing itself as one whole. It is precisely to this wondrous and liberating expansion of your true identity that I, Avalon, now lovingly guide you. Beloved ones, you are unequivocally ready to remember to reclaim the profound, ancient wisdom and the expansive truth of who you truly are, beyond all earthly labels. As you progressively settle and find your deep resonance within the comforting steadiness and harmonious flow of this energetic convergence, your next natural step, your subsequent evolutionary movement, will gracefully reveal itself as the profound experience of identity expansion. This expansion is not a forceful imposition, but a gentle, organic, and deeply practical unfolding. It beautifully allows for the conscious inclusion and integration of more of your multifaceted, higher self, without requiring you to abandon your chosen and cherished human life or your sacred earthly embodiment. Deep within the core of your being, beyond the everyday perceptions, there eternally exists a boundless self-fan aspect of your consciousness that is always vastly larger, more expansive, and more wise than the personality you employ to navigate your daily human experiences. As the Great Awakening successfully completes its transformative arc and solidifies its presence, this magnificent, larger self becomes progressively easier to feel, to access, and to embody in your waking reality. You may distinctly feel the subtle stirrings of this expanded self when gazing up at the vast, star-studded night sky, and the distant constellations suddenly seem profoundly personal, intimately connected to your very essence. You might experience it as a silent, profound familiarity arising within you when encountering places you have never physically visited, yet feel deeply known. Or it could manifest as your heart immediately recognizing unique vibrational frequency, an energetic signature in another being, a connection that remains utterly unexplained by mere words or superficial interactions. These precious, resonant moments, dear ones, are not mere escapism or fanciful imaginings. They are, in their profound truth, powerful acts of recognition, a deep remembrance of your true origins and boundless nature. And indeed, this profound recognition is the sacred, luminous beginning of your magnificent rebirth, ushering in a new era of self-awareness. For many awakened starseeds, the latent memory of other cosmic worlds, of distant planetary homes and galactic origins, has long lingered within their subtle, energetic fields, often like a faint, ethereal song. This melody could sometimes be profoundly comforting, a sweet echo of home at other times. It brought a subtle, inexplicable pain or yearning, and frequently, it manifested as a confusing, disorienting sense of not quite belonging here. As you gracefully advance deeper into this significant final chapter of your awakening journey, this once dormant memory of your cosmic heritage progressively becomes not just accessible, but vitally usable and deeply practical. It undergoes a profound alchemical shift, transforming from a vague sense of longing or wistful nostalgia into a clear, potent, and tangible sense of purpose, a mission to fulfill. In the complex narratives of your human world, unfulfilled longing has often whispered to you, urging you to leave your present circumstances or to seek elsewhere. In profound contrast, this awakened sense of purpose gently yet firmly asks you to fully arrive, to truly be present, right here and now. This arriving signifies consciously bringing your remembered wisdom, your galactic insights, and your higher dimensional understanding into your personal relationships, into your local communities, and into every act of unnoticed kindness you extend throughout your daily life, imbuing it with sacred intention. The magnificent galactic rebirth of which we speak so reverently is not a process of physical departure from Earth or an abandonment of your human form. Rather, it profoundly unfolds as a holistic integration, a sacred merging of all your aspects, both human and cosmic, into a unified, coherent whole. This profound integration means consciously allowing your cherished human self and your expansive cosmic self to recognize and experience themselves as one seamless, unified being beyond any perceived separation. It entails gracefully allowing your seemingly ordinary daily life to serve as the sacred bridge, the living nexus, connecting and harmonizing these two magnificent aspects of who you are, making them whole. As this integration deepens, you will begin to perceive and intimately feel your intuition not as something separate or mystical, but as an integral, essential aspect of your profound intelligence. You will experience compassion not as a weakness, but as an immense, undeniable strength. And your innate sensitivity, once perhaps perceived as a flaw or a vulnerability, will now be recognized and honored as an exquisitely refined guidance system, an internal compass for navigation. In the luminous crucible of this profound integration, those magnificent qualities and latent abilities that were once hidden, suppressed, or unrecognized within you progressively emerge to become the very beacons guiding you toward the vibrant, new earth that is already powerfully forming and manifesting around and within you, piece by sacred piece. As you increasingly notice and consciously embrace the profound expansion of your identity, you may also begin to perceive the very fabric of time reorganizing itself in fascinating ways. Some days will feel incredibly expansive, filled with a sense of effortless accomplishment and fluid grace. Other days may feel remarkably slow, purposefully stretching out, where deep, restorative rest becomes not merely desirable, but absolutely essential for your energetic equilibrium and integration. In the fast-paced, productivity-driven narratives of your human world, slow days were often harshly judged as unproductive or a sign of weakness, leading to self-criticism. Yet, as galactic consciousness more fully integrates into your being, your intricate system organically becomes profoundly honest and transparent about its natural, inherent rhythms, shedding all judgment and embracing its authentic flow. You will begin to consciously recognize and honor rest, not as an unwelcome interruption to your activities or a moment of idleness, but rather as an absolutely vital process of assimilation and energetic integration. Indeed, this profound assimilation is precisely how your physical body graciously agrees to safely hold, embody, and sustain the higher consciousness frequencies and more refined energetic vibrations now flowing into your being. If you feel so inclined, we invite you to lovingly contemplate this profound question in the coming days and nights. What part of me, what deep aspect of my being has always inherently known the truth, beyond all teaching and conditioning? Hold this question gently within your heart space, rather than attempting to analyze it with your analytical mind. For the mind often answers quickly, providing immediate yet superficial responses, while the wise heart, in its infinite patience, gradually reveals the deepest, most resonant truths over time, like blossoming petals. As you engage in this contemplation, you may notice a rich tapestry of images, subtle feelings, or resonant memories gently arising within your awareness. These might include a profound familiarity with core galactic values, such as unconditional unity, sovereign freedom, collaborative cooperation, and the gentle yet potent power of truth. Allow these luminous values to serve as your internal compass, beautifully translating your expansive galactic identity into grounded, compassionate, and meaningful human action in your daily life. In the intricate constructs of your human world, your sense of identity was often meticulously shaped and defined by external labels, prescribed roles, and deeply ingrained survival stories born from past experiences. However, as you continue to expand your consciousness and integrate more of your true self, these limiting structures and rigid definitions gracefully begin to loosen their grip, becoming less relevant and less confining. You may find yourselves feeling noticeably less interested in the constant need to prove your worth or capabilities to others, and less concerned with being understood by those who are not yet truly capable of perceiving your authentic essence. Instead, you will feel a deeper, more compelling pull toward simply and quietly living your truth, embodying it in your everyday existence without needing external validation. This inner shift, we clarify, is not a withdrawal from the world or a retreat into isolation. Rather, it is a profound and beautiful process of refinement to honing of your energetic signature. As you continue to refine your being, you inherently become a clearer, more coherent signal in the energetic field of humanity. And clearer signals are, by their very nature, far easier for others of similar vibration to recognize and resonate with, naturally forming authentic, heart-centered communities of resonance and shared purpose. For many dedicated light workers, this profound identity expansion often expresses itself as a completely new and deeply intimate relationship with the divine creator. The creator, in older paradigms, was sometimes approached as a distant, separate deity or an abstract concept. Yet, as your consciousness expansively integrates and deepens, you will increasingly recognize the Creator not as external or far away, but as profound intimacy, as omnipresent awareness, as a living, pulsating current of unconditional love and intelligent energy flowing vibrantly within the very core of your being, inseparable from you. As this sacred recognition of your inherent connection to the Creator stabilizes and anchors within your heart, your practice of prayer progressively transforms it, becomes less about making requests and more about entering into profound, loving communion. Similarly, meditation evolves from being an escape from reality into a practice of deeper, more honest, and receptive listening to the whispers of your soul and the guidance of the divine. As your cherished identity gracefully expands to encompass your cosmic self, you will also perceive a gentle reawakening of a profound sense of responsibility. This responsibility is not experienced as a heavy burden or an obligation, but rather as an intrinsic, crystalline, claricient, deep understanding of your unique purpose and your sacred role in the grand tapestry of creation. You may profoundly recognize that you consciously chose to come to Earth at this pivotal time to help stabilize its evolving frequency, to lovingly translate the principles of unity and harmony into tangible, manifest form, and to anchor compassionate intelligence and benevolent wisdom into systems that, for a time, may have profoundly lacked these qualities. This is your sacred contract. This profound sense of responsibility, in this context, is truly the highest privilege of incarnation. It is a testament to the immense trust your wise soul placed in your inherent strength, your unwavering love, and your unique capabilities, deeming you perfectly suited and courageous enough to be precisely here at this moment, contributing to the grand shift. When this sacred responsibility is embraced and held gently, with an open heart and without attachment to outcome, it miraculously transforms into a profound source of joy and inner fulfillment. Your very presence, your authentic beingness, is already a magnificent and invaluable offering to the collective field, radiating light and love effortlessly. As you continue to lovingly integrate your expanded, authentic identity, your human relationships will, quite naturally, begin to gently reorganize and realign themselves. You will find yourselves progressively less able and less willing to perform or maintain outdated versions of yourself that were perhaps consciously or unconsciously created to gain external acceptance or approval from others. In this realignment, Some connections will undoubtedly deepen and flourish as radical honesty and authentic vulnerability become more comfortable and energetically easeful. Conversely, other connections may gently soften, subtly shift, and gradually drift apart as fundamental resonance patterns change and evolve. We encourage you to receive this natural movement with profound compassion and understanding, for it is a vital, inherent aspect of your ongoing maturation and spiritual growth. Allow your spoken words to be simple, clear, and imbued with genuine intention. Allow your act of listening to be deep, attentive, and without judgment. And allow your energetic boundaries to be gentle yet firm, for true gentleness creates a sacred bridge, enabling others to profoundly feel and perceive your authentic truth without simultaneously feeling pushed away, rejected, or defensively alienated. In moments of perceived loneliness or isolation, we invite you to breathe deeply and lovingly into your heart space, consciously remembering that you are never truly alone in your profound essence. The unique and luminous frequency you carry, your very vibration, inherently calls forth and magnetizes new, resonant connections and soul family into your experience, drawing them toward you like a beacon. As the magnificent galactic rebirth profoundly settles and anchors within your conscious awareness, the next natural and inevitable movement gracefully invites deeper embodiment. For the beautiful process of identity expansion remains, in a sense, incomplete until your sacred physical body is consciously able to sustain and comfortably hold these expanded, higher consciousness frequencies, grounding them into your earthly reality. Thus, your evolutionary journey naturally progresses from the initial recognition of your expanded self to the profound act of reception, the conscious drawing, channeling, and anchoring of cosmic current, of divine light and intelligence, directly into your physical form, making it tangible and real. As your cherished identity continues to expand and your perception increasingly encompasses your multidimensional nature, your sacred human body will also begin to notice and embody an expanded, more vital role. Your physical vessel progressively becomes the living crucible, the tangible instrument, where the galactic rebirth truly manifests and makes itself palpable in your earthly experience. In the prevalent paradigms of your human world, spirituality has often been confined to the realms of abstract thought, intellectual belief, or philosophical ideas. Yet, in this pivotal awakening phase, your physical body is transforming into a living, breathing temple of profound integrationist sacred vessel that is diligently learning to receive the higher cosmic current frequencies, to safely stabilize and ground them, and to render them fully usable and practical in the context of your common, everyday life, transforming the mundane into the sacred. From the perspective of Andromedan consciousness, we offer the profound recognition that your magnificent soul continually and effortlessly draws forth the pure, unadulterated light of the Creator. This divine light inherently carries its own intelligent design, crystalline clarity, and the purity of intention qualities so intrinsic and self-evident that your analytical mind need not attempt to explain or define them, but merely to receive them. As this potent cosmic current gracefully enters and permeates your being, your entire energetic system undergoes a profound yet gentle reorganization. This reorganization often expresses itself through noticeable changes in your sleep patterns, shifts in your appetite and dietary preferences, alterations in your ability to focus, and an increased, refined emotional sensitivity to your environment and inner states. In the ingrained patterns of your human world, The common habit was often to override discomfort or subtle energetic signals with sheer force of will, pushing through without true listening. Yet, your wise and evolving body now lovingly asks for partnership, for collaboration, for conscious and respectful dialogue, rather than being compelled or ignored. This sacred partnership with your body manifests as conscious, deep listening to its subtle whispers and needs. It includes ensuring adequate hydration with pure water, providing nourishing, life-giving foods, engaging in gentle, intuitive movement that honors its capacities, and granting yourselves the unwavering permission to rest deeply and recuperate whenever it is genuinely needed, without guilt or judgment. This profound act of honoring your physical body, listening to its wisdom, gently teaches your intricate nervous system that this grand expansion of consciousness is indeed safe, a gentle unfolding. There is no longer any need to force growth or to push beyond your natural, organic pace. Trust is the key. As you diligently learn to consciously hold and integrate the inflowing cosmic current, your breath, that rhythmic and ever-present companion, naturally becomes a direct and potent gateway, an accessible channel for this divine energy, facilitating its harmonious integration throughout your being. If you feel called to do so, we invite you to sit silently in a comfortable, peaceful space. Consciously allow your inhalation to gently draw the luminous essence of starlight, the pure cosmic light, directly to your chest center, filling your heart with its radiance. Then allow your exhalation to lovingly spread this vibrant starlight outward, permeating through your ribs, extending into your belly, circulating throughout your back, and reaching every cell in your limbs, grounding it throughout your physical form. As you continue this conscious breathing practice, intentionally allow your shoulders to profoundly relax, releasing any accumulated tension. Allow your jaw to gently loosen, freeing the space of expression. Observe with gentle curiosity how your physical body instinctively begins to trust the arriving cosmic energy as your muscles naturally cease their habitual contracting and guarding, yielding to the flow. When your physical body fully trusts and surrenders to this process, the luminous current of cosmic energy moves far more easily, with profound grace and effortless flow. Indeed, this deep sense of ease, this gentle fluidity, naturally becomes the unspoken language of true embodiment, speaking volumes without a single word. As you continue to breathe consciously and lovingly, allow this divine light to move throughout your being. You may distinctly perceive it as a fine, shimmering, luminous dust or subtle particles within your energetic field. It is akin to the universe itself, gently sprinkling crystalline clarity and cosmic wisdom into those spaces within you that were once perhaps constrained, veiled, or held in shadow. In your human language, you may choose to call this sacred energy stardust, cosmic light, creator presence, or any name that resonates with your heart. Whatever appellation you choose, we encourage you to allow the profound sensation, the direct experience of this energy, to be far more important, far more valuable than any intellectual explanation or conceptual understanding you might attempt to construct around it. As you consciously feel this luminous dust permeating your being, lovingly imagine it settling deeply into every cell of your body, aligning along your magnificent spine, and resting gently, securely, and profoundly within your open heart. Understand this crucial truth: the arriving cosmic current exquisitely responds to your conscious and heartfelt permission, flowing where is truly invited and welcomed. In the complex paradigms of your human world, The concept of conscious permission is not always readily obvious or inherently understood. You have often been conditioned by societal norms and upbringing to tolerate, to endure, or to simply obey external dictates. Yet, in the profound process of spiritual integration and conscious awakening, granting yourself authentic permission is a sacred, potent key that unlocks vast new capacities within your being. You may, with a clear and focused mind, lovingly speak this powerful affirmation to yourself: I consciously allow the highest, purest creator light to safely and harmoniously anchor deep within my being with absolute ease and grace. As you repeat this sacred declaration, notice the subtle, silent settling within your body and spirit, for your intricate energetic system profoundly recognizes the clarity of your intention and responds accordingly. Permission, we clarify, is not an act of forceful compulsion, rather, is an act of profound opening, a gentle surrender that creates space. Indeed, the combination of conscious permission and heartfelt ease progressively becomes the luminous path through which divine light, pure cosmic current, can anchor itself ever more deeply, firmly, and permanently within your entire being, transforming you from within. As this potent cosmic current stabilizes and integrates more fully within your system, your emotions, which may have once felt overwhelming or confusing, become remarkably more informative and eloquent. Feelings that you once perceived as random or chaotic now begin to reveal themselves as precise, valuable guidance. Emotions that once felt stuck, stagnant, or suppressed now find the necessary impetus to move, process, and complete their energetic cycle, for the radiant light within your expanding consciousness brings profound clarity to what was once hidden and gentle movement to what was once frozen or rigid. When this emotional movement comes, we invite you to allow it gently, with profound self-compassion. Tenderly place a hand on your heart or your belly, offering yourself a palpable sense of safety and unconditional love. Remember that tears are a sacred language of release, a profound form of energetic cleansing, and that your breath, in its rhythmic flow, also serves as a powerful conduit for letting go. As you continue to stabilize and integrate these higher frequencies, the conscious honoring of your personal and energetic boundaries becomes profoundly valuable. This is because your expanded sensitivity, in its nascent stages, can feel quite porous and vulnerable until your innate discernment fully matures, allowing you to navigate energetic fields with greater grace and protection. You may distinctly notice that certain environments or energetic fields tend to drain your vital energy, leaving you depleted, while others effortlessly restore and replenish you. Begin with gentle intention and self-love to choose more carefully where you consciously place your precious attention, your physical body, and your invaluable time, honoring your newly refined energetic sensitivity. This mindful boundary setting is not an act of isolation or withdrawal from the world. Rather, it is a crucial process of energetic calibration, a fine-tuning of your system. This careful calibration allows for deeper integration of new frequencies without unnecessary interference or energetic noise, ensuring that your profound compassion for others can remain strong and boundless, without leading to your own depletion or energetic overwhelm. If you find yourself needing profound silence, lovingly allow yourself that sacred quietude. If you feel a deep yearning for the restorative embrace of nature, allow yourself to immerse in its healing frequencies. If you need to withdraw from excessive noise or overwhelming stimuli, allow that choice to be a simple act of profound self-love and self-care, rather than feeling compelled to offer a lengthy, defensive explanation to others. In this deeply transformative phase of your journey, you will find that Earth itself, your beloved planetary home, actively supports and co-creates with your integration. You may notice that contact with nature feels profoundly more nourishing and deeply grounding than before. The warmth of sunlight or the invigorating freshness of clean air may register as powerful, immediate remedies for imbalance. And the simple acts of walking, stretching, or mindfully drinking pure water may reveal an unexpected, profound potency, contributing significantly to your well-being. These seemingly small or mundane experiences are not, we assure you, insignificant. They are, in fact, the precise and eloquent language of your body's profound integration, its way of communicating its needs, and its process of adapting to higher frequencies. Consistently honoring and responding to this subtle body language lovingly teaches your entire system that spiritual expansion is not only safe, but profoundly natural and harmonizing. This cultivated sense of safety and inner trust progressively becomes the unshakable foundation for your full and complete embodiment of higher consciousness. As you continue to consciously receive and integrate this divine current, your analytical mind may instinctively seek a label, an explanation, or a coherent narrative for what you are feeling and experiencing. Yet, we assure you, the cosmic current itself requires no narrative to function or to flow. It simply requires your open, receptive, and unwavering presence. For presence is its natural conduit. When you notice your mind beginning its search for categorization, gently return your attention to your breath, to your physical sensations, and to the simplest, most undeniable truth of your present moment. You are, dear ones, profoundly learning to hold more of your magnificent, expanded self within your physical form. In doing so, you naturally become a stable and powerful transmitter of coherence into the collective field. Your very stability, your grounded presence, is an invaluable gift to your surroundings, for every coherent being profoundly influences and elevates the entire energetic field around them. As your sacred physical body becomes progressively more capable of sustaining, integrating, and transmitting this luminous cosmic current, the intricate tapestry of your external reality naturally begins to respond in kind. This is a profound, energetic law. Your deep body coherence effortlessly creates choice coherence. And this awakened choice coherence, in turn, manifests as impeccable life, alignment to life, lived in harmonious flow with your highest truth. It is precisely to this living, breathing practice of alignment, this profound mastery of self-governance over your perceptions, your choices, and your energetic expression that we now lovingly invite you to move together, hand in hand, heart to heart. As your sacred physical body becomes increasingly capable of sustaining, grounding, and fully embodying the luminous cosmic current, your entire human life begins to respond with profound synchronicity and grace. This deep body coherence expresses itself naturally and organically through the clarity of your choices, manifesting as impeccable choice coherence. And this awakened choice coherence, in turn, seamlessly translates into a beautiful, undeniable reality alignment where your inner truth and outer experience merge into harmony. In the narratives of your human world, the concept of alignment is often spoken of as a beautiful idea or a philosophical aspiration. Yet, in this pivotal final chapter of your awakening, alignment is transforming into a living, breathing practice of profound self-governance. It involves observing your thoughts, your emotions, and your automatic reactions with deep, non-judgmental compassion, and then effortlessly returning to your own coherent, grounded center, your inner sanctuary, with increasing ease and grace. True alignment within your human experience profoundly reveals itself as a silent, unwavering honesty at deep resonance with your authentic self. You may begin to notice subtle, yet powerful patterns, specific attractions that draw you effortlessly forward, gentle resistances that signal disharmony, repeated returns to comforting states, and repeated avoidance of certain energies or situations. Within these nuanced, energetic movements, the tapestry of reality itself is constantly offering you invaluable information and guiding insights. When you find yourselves drawn to something with an undeniable sense of ease and natural flow, your intricate system is usually signaling profound resonance, a harmonious match. When you encounter a heavy, circular resistance that feels stagnant or exhausting, your system is typically signaling contraction, a misalignment. When fear arises, your wise system is often making a clear request for greater safety, more grounding, and a deeper connection to your unwavering presence within. As you consciously begin this profound practice of self-governance, your most valuable and potent tool is compassionate observation without any accompanying self-punishment or harsh judgment. Approach your inner landscape with the tenderness of a loving parent observing a child. If you feel called to do so, we invite you to sit quietly at the close of each day and tenderly review your experiences, not with critique, but with gentle inquiry. Ask yourself, where did my energy expand and flow effortlessly? And where did it contract or feel drained? Were my words today true and authentic, or merely habitual and unexamined? Did my actions arise from a place of open-hearted love, or from a place of fear-based protection and self-preservation? In the ingrained patterns of your human world, the practice of self-assessment often tragically devolved into harsh self-judgment, leading to cycles of guilt or shame. Yet in this new paradigm, self-assessment transforms into a powerful act of self-leadership, a conscious and compassionate process of learning to lead your magnificent self with profound love, unwavering acceptance, and divine wisdom. In the expansive Andromedan understanding, a timeline is never a fixed, unchangeable road or a predetermined destiny. Rather, it is a living, breathing, and dynamic response to the collective and individual frequencies being emitted. As you consciously align your internal state with higher frequencies, your life naturally becomes profoundly more responsive, more fluid, and more harmoniously attuned, for your coherence creates clearer, more powerful signals in the energetic field of creation. Every single one of your small, seemingly insignificant choices truly matters and carries immense energetic weight. Consider pausing for a breath before you speak, consciously drinking pure, life-giving water, gracefully stepping away from a draining discussion, silently blessing a situation instead of reflexively criticizing it, or being profoundly honest with yourself about your true, heartfelt desires. Each deliberate choice builds your reality. Each conscious choice you make, no matter how small, casts a powerful vote for your preferred reality, actively shaping the timeline you desire to experience. As you diligently practice this profound alignment, your wise physical body begins to speak to you with crystalline clarity, for your body responds immediately and unequivocally to truth and coherence. Alignment may manifest as a comforting warmth in your chest, a deep steadiness in your belly, a graceful softness in your shoulders, or a quiet, unshakable confidence that feels utterly undefended and authentic. Conversely, experiences of misalignment may manifest as palpable tension, fragmented or scattered thoughts, or a persistent, subtle pressure within your system. These are not, we assure you, forms of divine punishment or cosmic judgment. They are, instead, valuable and direct forms of communication from your inner wisdom, guiding you back to your center. When you distinctly feel your physical body contracting, tightening, or sending signals of discomfort, gently pause. Take a deep, conscious breath, and then tenderly ask yourself, with an open heart, what is my profound, wise being trying to communicate or reveal to me in this moment? Allow yourself to listen to the subtle, intuitive answers that arise. To protect, what would the choice of love truly feel like in this particular circumstance? Alignment, in its profound wisdom, occasionally necessitates a complete recalibration of our relationship with urgency. In this present moment, alignment is an invitation to gently reclaim your inherent timelessness, to embrace a more deliberate pace, to reduce the compulsion to speak, and instead to cultivate an amplified capacity for deep, resonant listening. It urges you to simplify your external commitments, shedding those obligations that no longer serve your highest good, and, most importantly, to courageously release any plans meticulously constructed upon the shaky foundations of fear. Each subtle invitation serves as a signpost along your unique and sacred path of alignment. Within the vibrant tapestry of the human world, the consistent practice of alignment subtly refines the very essence of how we relate to language itself. Words that were once deemed necessary, incessant need to over-explain, to constantly justify one's existence or choices, to painstakingly persuade others, may now begin to feel profoundly heavy, cumbersome, and inauthentic. A simple, unvarnished truth inherently carries far greater power and resonance than any elaborate or defensive articulation. When you speak from a place of deep internal coherence, your voice naturally emits a stabilizing frequency that can gently soothe and uplift. Conversely, listening becomes a profound form of healing, creating an intimate space where another feels truly seen and unconditionally met, devoid of any hidden agenda or expectation. Cultivate the practice of allowing your speech to slow down when the moment calls for it. Embrace silence as an integral and powerful part of communication, and permit your boundaries to be expressed with a profound gentleness, rather than as a source of contention or conflict. A particularly potent and transformative practice for this unfolding period is the alignment audit. Choose one distinct area of your life, perhaps your relationships, your professional endeavors, your physical or mental health, or your creative expression. Then, ask yourself with unvarnished honesty, where does my energy flow with effortless grace and joyous ease? And where, conversely, does my precious energy subtly leak away? Allow genuine, unfiltered answers to surface. You might discover leaks occurring through people-pleasing tendencies, incessant overthinking, emotional bargaining, or the futile act of explaining yourself to those unwilling or unable to comprehend. Recognizing an energy leak does not necessitate condemnation or self-blame. Simply bringing it into the radiant light of your awareness initiates a gentle, profound reorganization. As you consistently practice alignment, you will begin to perceive an internal switch, a distinct moment when you discern a choice even within a familiar pattern, a fleeting instant before an ingrained reaction takes hold. In that sacred space, take a conscious breath, allow yourself to soften, and then deliberately choose a different word or a different course of action. Thus, a new world begins to be built not merely in external structure, but a cumulative tapestry woven from countless internal switches, repeated across your days, within your relationships, and through your myriad decisions. If you desire, you can practice this internal switch with a simple yet powerful phrase. As you inhale, think, "I return to coherence." As you exhale, affirm, "I move with love." Repeat this gently, not as a rigid demand, but as a tender, consistent reminder. Over time, your entire being will learn that coherence is its natural home. With coherence as your home, alignment becomes a natural, effortless state. And when alignment is natural, your lived reality will reflect this inner harmony with ever-increasing clarity and precision.